Right, I've just made it to the train at Bristol Temple Mead, UK. I had to run, in fact, so I'm already in a sweat. We are in fact delayed, as you can hear. So, anyway, my journey is to Lofoten, North Norway, on the way to Stamsund International Theatre Festival. It's 10 to 5 in the morning on Friday, and I've got a long journey ahead of me.
Flying time today is 1 hour and 35 minutes.
Finally arrived, 65 hours after setting off. And now, over to the festival. Dum da dum 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 da dum dum da dum 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 da dum. What's your name and what are you doing here?
My name is Torbjørn and I live here, and I'm it's called the chairman of the board for this festival, yeah, and house here for 19 years, and we also have a small producing company, small theatre company called Theatre Nord. This is a small place. It lives about 1,500 people here. It's about fitting into the milieu, fitting into the city, fitting in between the mountains and the water, and we always wanted to be more, of course, but and work more with quality than size, actually. Yeah.
You're a director then?
I'm a director. Normally, I'm a director. Yes. Yeah. I've some years ago I was the boss on a big theater, but I thought it was boring because it was too much bureaucracy, and we did the same thing year after year. So that's why we made our own company. Just, we're a group of friends who do exactly what we want.
You said you had a show you were going to do, but you had to cancel it. Yeah. What was that all about?
What is it about? It's about the feeling of home. Yeah, in a philosophical way. What is home? What means home? We have worked with that for half a year and tried to make some different expression around this. And actually, we have worked with a writer from Scotland. He's an excellent poet and a philosopher, Norwegian philosopher. And we have worked with this feeling of home. Yeah. Yeah, I think you must see it. It's not really a show. It's just something between a performance and an installation. Yeah, and video art.
So, what's going to be happening on these pallets?
It will be an open stage the whole festival for people who want to do things. Yeah. So I really don't know. I know a few things, but I'm sure it will be surprises too.
Hello.
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 Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes.
Real simple ones. He's running away. All right. Okay. Hello.
I'm Kinga, and I don't know everything. I don't really have a title yet. Hungary, but I live in the Netherlands.
Last year's festival.
Yeah. I'm the star from last year, and this year I'm cleaning toilets. Actually, most of them, or painting floors and so. Yeah.
So you're an actor or
a dancer? I'm nothing. I'm the manager of the toilets, and so.
So you just come to get involved?
Yes. I liked it so much that I just wanted to do something.
Good interview.
Can you tell me what's your name and what you're doing here?
My name is Øystein, and now I'm putting up the wall of the witch tent. Yes.
And why are you involved here?
I'm the technical chief of techniques. Yes.
You've done this before?
Not been in charge, no. I just worked there for some years as a technician. Yeah.
And why you want to do this?
Oh, because it's fun. And I like theater and I like Stamsund. That's why. I grew up 20 minutes drive from here. Yeah.
So, hello. Haha, you've been captured.
Hi, my name is Joris. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm a technician here. They've flown me in as a volunteer. I guess because they can fly in volunteers from Oslo anyway, and it's not that much more expensive to fly in volunteers from the Netherlands. So that's why I'm here.
So, how did you hear about it?
Well, I got here through a friend of mine. This is my second year, and he's been here before as a volunteer. So he introduced me, and well, it was so much fun last year that I wanted to come back this year as well, and hopefully the years to come as well, because it's a really fun festival. People are really great, and all the energy, because it's 24-hour daylight. You know, you make 18 hours working days, and afterwards you go out and you still have enough energy to keep on doing that for 6 days. So that's really great.
It looks like it's been standing here all the time. I think it's going to look like that it has been standing here forever. That's how it looks like for me.
And it's made with kind of rotten wood and
Yes.
moss.
Yeah. So it looks great.
Would you live in this?
I would use it as a summer house, definitely.
I'm just now walking to the next task. Not quite sure what it is, but yeah, it's a lovely day and it's quite amazing, really. The scenery here. You can see these amazing Lord of the Rings-like mountains in the distance across the water, and there's these incredible rocks, probably 200-300 meters high. Yeah, it's certainly not Bristol, that's for sure. It's quite something else.
My name is Laila Kongenvord, and I'm doing one wall piece and 2 videos. So I was invited, and then I came to see to see Stamsund, and I wanted to do something for this place. Like, I was inspired by this industry, not industry. The history of the place.
My name is Randi Storseth, in English, Randi Storseth, and I'm involved with this performance called The Man with the, what do you call it? Flosshatt?
Top hat.
Top hat, yeah. And I'm doing the sound and the lighting, lighting. And I've also done the music and the video scenography. So we've been working on this for 4 months. And so this is puppet theater, tiny scenography, light and sound and magic. Yeah. I've been to Lofoten before, I've toured Lofoten before. But when I came here yesterday, it's a stunning nature. And it's an exotic and wonderful environment to be creative in.
My name is Annika Udo. I'm Swedish, but living in Norway. And my work is as a puppeteer. Now I'm here with the new show, which is for grown-ups. And I also have a show for children with me. Living here for 4 years. And I have also worked in this fishing fabrics, which is here. And I would never dream about that it would come a theatre festival at this place at that time. And today this is the second time I'm here, now on the festival.
So has it changed since you were here last?
Not as last year, it's nearly the same. But as it was for 20 years ago, yes, it has been changed. So it's been quite big difference. Different people, different atmosphere, it's much better.
I had an idea to make a play about time travel on a train. Have you got any ideas that could go in that story?
The first thinking I get when you're saying time is, where is all the... Can you?
Good, yeah, good. I like it.
Yeah, I think we do.
Okay. Thank you. Well, yeah, enjoy. I hope to see your show.
Yeah, me too. I hope we get ready.
I have no idea. I don't know why, but just a clock ticking came into my mind. Just as a sense of a train going forward. Train sound turns into a clock sound, and then you actually transform where you are.
Time travel. So yeah, the train travel. It's got to travel 3 times.
Wow, that's
or is it a train that has people from all the different eras that live on it?
So like a time scale from
And then one unsuspecting passenger gets on.
Then you could have a very sophisticated carriage of... Yeah, it could be fun.
Okay.
Reaching along.
Time travel. Do I have to travel that time, or do you have to put myself on that train? Or where do I start? Where do I end?
It's easy. It's evolution.
Time travel, sit on a train. Go sit on a train. Do it, you know? I think the best stories are the stories that we experience ourselves. I mean, and maybe that's just because I'm not good at making up things, but I think if you wanted to make a story about time travel on a train, well, you take the Mongolian Express or what, you know, and that'll be the story, and you'll make a play out of it, I'm sure, if you want to. And you take a risk in making yourself vulnerable.
Well, it's 20 to midnight. The sun has just gone down over the hill. It's after a really long day's work. We painted giant letters all day in the sunshine, reading out "Mange ord som venter på sin siste sjanse," which means many words that wait for their last opportunity. I've got to say, it's immensely good to be here. It's incredibly peaceful. I'm standing here looking out over the water. Amazing colours, turquoises and greens. There's boats, there's birds. The arduous trip feels worth it. So yeah, it's been a good day. Tomorrow is the opening of the festival. So I'm going to go to bed now and get some rest.
Look at the size of it.
It's very good.
Yeah, you know, I even had an idea. It was so small that if we had a costume, I could sit on his shoulders in a costume like a giant with a big head and playing a tiny little thing and a big sound coming out of it. But
we can do that as well.
You know,
but is it too much to try it? You think?
Yeah. I mean, what I could do now is maybe just walk up as far as that tree.
Yeah.
And then play it and let you hear where it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Dave, from that height up there? Whether that would carry
up there? Also, we will have a choir on 14 people about at this little bush.
Oh yeah, okay. And you can hear a choir of 14 from there easily.
It depends a little on the wind, but no, it's good because it's coming this direction.
My name is Peter Goldstein, and I'm an artist in residence here in Stamsund, Lofoten. For the festival, I'm going to walk about 80 kilometers to the other side of the island and back. And while I'm walking, I'd like people to call me, and then I'll make a photograph for them. And the idea kind of is this, that always we're so goal focused, that we fail to see the details around us. So that I'm kind of hoping that when people call me, then I'll start noticing the details of things around. Yeah, which is kind of a nice metaphor for the way we should live our lives. I've been here 3 times before. The other years that I've been here, I was just here for the festival, 4 days. So I really wanted to spend a lot of time up here, just in the nature and see how it is to get away from the city. So that's why I've spent the last 2 months here.
nearly 6:30, and it's the parade up to the opening of the festival on the Palette Theatre stage. And there's a whole host of people in tow. Very nice. Wearing marigold gloves and sieves on their heads with roses sticking out the top. Their face is painted blue. It's definitely a theatre festival. Fantastic contrast with the brass band and these crazy roving performers. All the locals have turned up and not sure they know what to make of it, but they're here.
Willkommen! Stamsund International Theatre Festival.
The festival is officially open. What have you got to say?
More or less nothing. It was really great. I really enjoyed this opening ceremony, and maybe some problem with level of the songs on the mountain, but it was great, and I really like because there is a lot of sun today and girls. Thank you. And I hope the beer is not too expensive.
Which it is.
Beer, you mean?
My name is Tale Ness, and I'm here as a playwright. Basically, because of the performance called Strømme, which was shown tonight, and then tomorrow I'm going to do a short aftermath sort of talk about it. It's the last showing here, so it's a bit sad because it's the best they've done. 10 people on the road and 5 kids, so it's expensive and difficult to do it any further, I think.
So how has it kind of developed?
Well, I mean, it was a long process. In the beginning, the main actor read the play and fell in love with it, and then the director said, okay, let's go ahead with it, and we'll do some workshops. And then we did some workshops, and my ideas and her ideas we tried to combine them. And then I like the fact that theatre is a communal work and that we do it together. So to be able to be actually writing something for them, not only for me, it's been great.
So what's the highlight for you? What's been the highlight the last 4 years then, or 3 years?
Maybe the highlight has been just being in Stamsund, because the place is so spectacular, and meeting all those people, actually talk with them and feel that you are a part of something which isn't just singular groups struggling along, singular hoping somebody that will sort of see them for, exchange swipes and notes. And I think actually that's the main thing with this festival. And if we can see some great international stuff, that's good too. Norway is a very small country. It's the first time I finished my work, so it will be very interesting now to see what it's like to be as an audience. Before I've been sort of working and then maybe been able to see one show or two. So I think maybe it's gone slightly smaller but more intense, I don't know. We'll see, it's only the second day. We'll see how it progresses.
Forstår vi fortvilelse? For en skam, for en skam. Og så nettopp nå så jeg...
Stig på!
Det har jeg allerede gjort, jeg her.
Vi skal ikke stige på her, Andersen, før... Gudskyld.
Har gjort sant?
And we arrive in Kongsvinger, this is a few years ago, we arrive in Kongsvinger and we find these 2 bridges over this really, really big river. We find these bridges and we decide what we'll do is that we'll just walk backwards and forwards across these 2 bridges. This is Gary reaching the end of his bridge. We're just staying on the bridge, so he just turns. That's it. And he walks back. About 15 hours to go back.
It's nearly midday on Thursday. I'm late for a children's theatre performance of some people I met. going to go and see what they're up to. We met so many people here. It's just amazing the diversity of people from all over the place. And I suppose that's what you'd expect with an international theatre festival, but the fact that so many people have been here in this tiny fishing village, that's quite something. I'm late because I was out at it's kind of a regular house party that glues everything together, gives people a chance to go somewhere when everything else is finished. It's just the basement of a house. When everyone crams in there, it's very cosy, very lively as well. So I had a few too many beers last night. Just coming up to Teater Nord now. It's a big kind of boxy building, presumably some kind of fishing storage place at some point. How's it going?
Very well.
What are you about to do?
We're about to perform Grim Jam, Munkashine Theatre Company, and it's our second show today. Yeah.
How was this morning?
This morning was good. A quiet audience, but they're not familiar with the fairy tales as we know them in English. They're different fairy tales here in Norwegian, so that was a little bit disappointing, but it's okay. It's okay. They seem to enjoy it anyway. So, although I'm ready for an afternoon nap, we were here till 4 o'clock last night. But yeah, it's good. It's great.
Fast and furious with some nice soft bits, but
there's
it's
two
high energy and
characters who kind of are porters, and then the poor unsuspecting victim gets trailed through the tales of the Grimm's brothers. And this is the biggest stage that we've been on so far, but it's only our 5th time ever showing it.
First time we've ever been out of Ireland.
With it. Not ourselves.
Not myself. We personally have been out of Ireland.
Yay! I can party now till Saturday.
How did you end up coming here? What's the story?
I came here last year and met Odney and Torbjorn and Cecil and saw the place and thought it was amazing, and then sent them some details of the show and begged them to come. And they allowed us.
How did you sort of come to the way of the format for this?
Playing with ideas, playing with different things, and looking at all the stories and the obscure ones and the well-known ones. And then we worked for 2 weeks with a clown. And we spent just time developing all sorts of material.
So have you got any plans?
A little bit of sleep and then a little bit of beer. Yeah.
It's one of the things I love about these festivals is people just doing impromptu things. There's Lady Sheila in the water here. There's somebody on the side playing a cello, accompanying her earlier on. It's people just being creative, being spontaneous. Yeah. And we're about to watch Mannen med Frosthatten, the man with the top hat.
Yeah.
It's a puppet theatre.
I'm looking forward to it. So.
Can you say in English? You just said to me your impressions of the last show.
I said that was a very strong experience, and I think it's the one I like the most until now. It was called Vår tids redsel for alvor. I felt that I don't take enough responsibility. It made me sad because I realized that I don't do enough time. And here I think we will have to use our eyes more than our ears. So that I think will be a nice
contrast.
Yes, contrast, exactly. Thank you.
Oj, inte gör sådär då. Du skrämde
Det var han! Han ser ut som en fyrstick.
Peter Goldstein, how was the trip and how was the showcase?
Yeah, I had a good time. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the most important thing, like why we do this is to have fun. So, like, of course, the walk was at times really painful and exhausting, but also like endearing of the spirit or whatnot. And I'm pretty happy with a lot of the pictures I took, especially the ice blue picture. Yeah, and I mean, every time I go for a long walk, I find something else out. You know, a walk's a lot like life. You get lost, you find your way again. Yeah, I think the dialogue with the people was the most important, you know, both on the phone and then here meeting people and kind of enjoying our time together. Yeah, I think that to meet people, maybe it's my excuse for making art. Yeah.
I think we're sitting about 400 to 500 meters up above the sea, seeing a beautiful horizon and skyline of mountain tops that have snow, and the grass is moving quite heavily because it's a lot of wind here.
And the island's dotted about, little tiny rocks sticking out of the water.
Makes you want to stay if there wasn't any winter coming. And if it wasn't so freaking far away from everything else in the world.
Definitely a place to visit.
Definitely a place to visit.
So we're eating, what are these things called?
Kyllingsboller.
Kyllingsboller.
Or just strange yeast-baked bread rolls with lots of raisins, cinnamon and vanilla pudding and sugar on top. And I'm going to miss them. My name is Svenja Wolf. I'm from Germany and studying in Bergen right now. I just came up for the festival, so it was a 25 hours train ride on the boat and lots of hitchhiking. Just because I love theatre and I'm studying it as well. But
so what's the best thing you've seen?
Best thing I've seen, I think it's when the sound eating a banana and then trying to sing or make some more sounds. That was the best part, those 2 minutes. I was quite surprised how open the people here are, and how they just came up to me and asked, "Hey, what are you doing here?" and "What's up? What's going on?" They all just appreciate that someone comes there to see their theatre or to be there on the festival. And no, it's not much of those high culture artists blah that you very people that feel very special because they are artists. It's not here like that at all. It's just people that meet and exchange. So that part was the social part was just very wonderful. It's a lot of variety of plays of different kinds of theatre, and I like that about it a lot, that it's you get a bit of everything. They offer workshops in the mornings or just discussions in the afternoons about the plays that were shown the day before. So that is also just a very nice way to reflect and to exchange and to learn. It's a good opportunity to learn.
How do you find people who are involved with theatre are different to people who are other people? Do you think there's anything that stands out?
Well, the thing that strikes me most every single time is, they just speak so well and have so much expression in their face, and those kind of folks that end up at the theatre, I don't know, maybe they all have a kind of view on life, or they are all people that like to ask a lot of questions, and therefore ended up trying to find some way or try to find new questions. Who knows? So apparently I got something in common with them.
Well, has theatre shaped them, or is it that they've been drawn to it because they're like...
Well, talking about myself, it was rather quite randomly that I ended up with theatre.
My name's Chrissy Poulter, and I live and work in Ireland. I teach in the theatre school in Trinity College in Dublin, and I'm a freelance theatre director and deviser. And I met these guys from the festival here and Theatre North and the Figure Theatre all together in Ireland at an international theatre meeting. And we started talking about living on an island on the edge of the world. We just started talking about Stamsund, just small islands and fishing communities. I love it. I think theatre is important to the people who make it because it turns them into sort of people who understand how to see the world through other people's eyes. And the more people like that, the better. So I think that the theatre artist, any artist, is a crucial ingredient of the human race. That's the Wandering Minstrel. I'm a great fan of the Wandering Minstrel. Or in Ireland, the poet, who's next to the king. The poet could go anywhere and could come and sit next to the king. So I think that's a really important role for the artist, is to dare to speak and be allowed to speak. And then I think theatre can be very important for its audience. It depends on the time and the craft and the aesthetic and the art. And sometimes theatre artists are self-indulgent, and other times they can be an eye-opener. They can provide a forum for debate. They can provide a mirror to society. And I just think they can provide hope and inspiration. So I think that in that way theatre is very important as well.
My name is Bruno, but my nickname is Pixel Orchestra. You know, a perfect combination between digital way to think visuals and music. This is my job. When you see some things, there are a lot of combination between smell, taste, see, sounds, you know, to find the perfect combination between these factors, you know. That's it. The show, it's called White Brainwash. It's a show of an history of commercials, but inside a relationship between a man and woman. No, you have to see that performance, to taste the meaning of that words. Now in Stamsund, evening, now a lot of beer. A lot of it. I done my job and now I'm drinking for 6 o'clock on an evening, you know? Now it's 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's it. I'm Italian, you know? I have to do it. Ciao mamma.
Well, I'm Håkon Vasvik. I play in called Iphigenia, written by Finn Juncker. And right now it's around 4 o'clock in the morning. The sun is really shining hard. There's a guy playing the ukulele in the background, singing, playing. Very nice. We've gotten some wine and some, call this waterfront, this...
Like a jetty.
Jetty?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the sun, having a good time. It is great. It is. I like. Yeah.
Den vill jag ha.
Mycket salt i där. Mycket salt då.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm kind of making the dried fish shareable. You have to knock it up because it's really compact. You need a hammer normally. It's the only thing I've got is this one. It's not really good enough. But you can see it works.
And where did you get this fish?
What?
Where did you get the fish?
This was actually the gift that we got after playing the performance. You can see that we got this. It's kind of like a welcome gift to Stamsund. And
Do you normally get fish?
not normally. No. Normally you get a flower. But here, there's no flowers here. It's hard to grow. So they give a fish instead. A dried fish. It's stockfish. Yeah.
And you describe the show just very briefly.
It's like a show. It's a bit hard because it's a style of in a way it's a mix between like theater.
Could I maybe say, like, I thought it was kind of like a cross between a classical story and a cheap, disgusting sitcom.
Yeah, sounds good.
And actually it works. It really works.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because it is a classical story, and the dramaturgy, it's not classical.
Kom inte vi på gången då? Hur länge ska vi göra det här? För du la oss fram till Troja.
My name is Finn. I'm not doing anything particular now, but I'm supposed to engage in this talk tomorrow, which is in fact today. And I'm supposed to give very good answers to what I presume to be quite vague questions about my play and about the performance of my play, and presumably about the interaction between text and performance, which I am to answer because I have a university degree in comparative things. So I can compare things. I compare my text to the performance and the performance to other performances and my text to other texts. And my play is called Iphigenia, which is a sort of, comparatively speaking, it's a response to a play of Euripides. And the performance is in many ways a response to my text.
Lots of responsive things. Me responding badly to you.
Yes, that's a lack of response.
That was. How would you rate that response? 1 to 10.
Somewhere between 1 and 0.
My name is Hilda. I'm staying here at the festival because I'm visiting a friend. And I'm doing everything else that's fun. And last night, Jim is there. He's American, and he has a car. And he said, "Do you want to go and see the midnight sun?" And we said yes. And then there's a whale stranded on a beach, a few kilometers from where the parking place is. So we went up to see it. But in a way, it was quite a bit disappointment because it has been laying there for a few months, maybe. I thought it was recently. Quite fascinating, though. It's so big. It's maybe 10, 12 meters. And the sun, it was 2 o'clock in the night. We spent lots of hours there and came back this morning.
My name is Per Plateau. I'm a member of Verk Productions.
I'm Thea, and I'm performing in Iphigenia.
And I'm the musician in the company.
And what did you think of the show we've just seen?
He's amazing.
Did you laugh?
Yeah, I did.
How many times?
Well, he's a brilliant performer, obviously, and I saw him even the first night, and he impressed me even then. Well, what shall I say? This is not the type of theatre I normally go to see. It's kind of local and still, I don't know what it's about really. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's kind of fun. I'm not into all the jokes, I think, but still I'm impressed by his virtuosity in musically and then as a performer. So it was a good thing to end the festival with this one, because he's a local guy. He's a kind of a cult figure here, isn't he?
Whose baby is this?
It's Solveig's, my fellow choir member in Iphigenia. It's a theatre baby.
She was in the belly the first run of this show. Gave a second kind of layer of context into the last scene.
Mm-hmm.
You understand it if you've seen the show.
17th century Russia. I have a flair for that. It's hard.
Okay.
A hard question. At this time of the day.
Great, thank you.
Time travel.
Well, if the train is late, you would have to wait for the train, but that's quite boring.
Slow motion. That was the first thing that I saw me sitting on the train from Trondheim to Bodø, which took incredibly long. And I was just sitting there, and everything felt so slow. Everything was kind of... There was no time because I was on the train so long. It seemed to be very slowly going by. There were no trees that were just rushing by. It was just mountains there, far away, and everything felt so slow, and I felt slow. I would not write it down. I would put it on scene. I would work with the body. Some slow moves and things like that.
Goblins and crazy creatures, or what do you mean?
No, crazy people, I think. You know, they might look like goblins, but I think I would prefer them to be people. Who knows, what happens to us. They say that in, maybe 500 years ago we were very small. But I prefer to go into the future then. If I could really sort of go into the future, and maybe a future that is not even here. In the future we'd look like giants and look strange, but still be us. So I don't know. That would be interesting to do.
So what might happen on this train, do you think?
Well, probably chaos. I think a journey till the other side of chaos. Maybe seeing people building something up again. Maybe going into a future on the train, meeting people trying to fix this planet. That would be good.
Being sick, I think. I don't know, that's the first thought that comes to mind. It's a box of iron that fly through the landscape without you having any possibility to get off. Stuck with these people, stuck with your illness, and stuck with the speed and the landscape that's just in the mirror.
Where does the time travel come into it?
That's I have no idea. Well, suddenly you realize it's going just faster and faster and faster and faster. And then suddenly it seems like the the buildings outside seems a bit, you're realizing the cities and the villages that's passing is it's really something strange about them. That's when you realize that it's not the year of 2007 anymore. And then after some time you're realizing, this trained something to another dimension. And so on.
My name is Magnar Johansen. I'm a journalist. I've been covering some of the plays and I'm doing the end story of the festival today. And I also live here, so I'm in that way a part of the festival.
And so what's been your impression?
This year? Quite good actually. Most because this was the theater that I like. Theater is based on lyrics mostly. And I see some very good plays. I had a very good time, as always. There's a lot of people who are coming here. People stays here some days. It's get life into a small place with very active. They like it. And people are in very good mood, the people who visit the festival. I think we're very happy with the festival here.
Andreas Eilertsen, I'm a musician and an actor.
Your name is Biomechanics.
My name...
You can't state why you're here because of the show.
I don't know who's going to do the interview, my colleague or me, but I'm a guy, son of father from Lofoten, mother from Oslo, grown up here. That's it. Yes, it's nothing more to say.
Person playing Per Gynt in another version. A man seeking the world and experiences in the world and gathering the experiences and growing on the experience.
You shut up for a moment because now we are lying on the edge of a harbor with our heads in the tip of the water. Can you please be a little bit more constructive here? Who are you? Where are we? And who the hell is moving the clouds above us? Are they good clouds or bad clouds? Or did you get touched by Romeo and Juliet together with me in Tønsberg or not? I love you.
It was very touching and I love you too.
Now say it with me, Stamsund International Festival at stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yes!
And it's wonderful. And you want to kiss, and you want to make love, and you want everything. And you want it to be again, and again, and again, and again.